Today you will be learning this. So, now that you've seen what you're about to learn, if you're ready, let's get started. Alright, so that was a color change that I came up with. I hope you all like that. And here is how you do it. So first of all, I'm going to teach you different ways to control a card to the top of the deck, because that is what you're going to need to know how to do, is to control a card. I'm going to show you 3 different ways. One way that I do it in the performance, and then 2 other alternative ways that you can do it. So first, I'm going to show you the first way that I do it. You have a spectator say stop whenever they want, and then wherever they say stop, just flip over the cards, ask them to remember one card, not that one because that's too obvious, but this one right here. They remember the card, and once they remember the card, you just take that card and you just leave it there in the center of the deck, and you push it in, and when it snap, their card is on top. And that is the control I use in the performance. It's just something I came up with one day. I was just playing around with the cards and I just kind of came up with this control. It's a nice control. It's very believable looking anyway. I like how it looks, and I'm just going to show you exactly how to do that. You riffle through the deck and you ask the spectators to say stop whenever they want. You riffle through, they call stop, then you flip over the cards, and then from here, what you want to do is you want to pick up 2 cards. So you want to go 1 and 2. And when you're picking up the 2 cards, like I have here, you want to leave a small break between those 2 cards, because that's going to help you out later on. So after you pick up those 2 cards, you want to show them what the card is. After they remember what the card is, what you're going to do is you're going to go from here to here. So from here, they remember the card, and then you're going to go down like this. And as you're going to go down like this, what you're doing is, the reason why you have that little gap in between the 2 cards is so that when you go from here to here, you can easily drop that card on the deck as you go from this position to this position. And from the front, no one sees anything. It just looks like this. It goes from here to here, and it still looks like that is their card right there. But really their card is right here. So now that you've got their card here, what you're going to do in the cover of this hand, because it's going to cover the deck like that, what you're going to do is you're going to take their card and you're going to flick it out like that. And it's very simple. My thumb is just holding onto the top corner of the cards, and then my pinky is just going to pull back, and that's going to allow that card to just flick out like that. One more time, my thumb is here holding onto the top corner, and then my pinky pulls on the bottom corner and the card flicks out like that. And all that happens under this hand, right? So this hand is hiding all that. So you flick it out, and I've already done it. So I'm going to just do everything again just as far as there. Riffle, they call stop, flip the cards over, then you pick up the two cards, show them the card, and once they show the card, you go down and you drop the card like that, and their card is here, but they believe that this is still their card. From here, you flick the card out under the cover of these cards, flick, just like that. And what you're going to do from here is you're going to take this card and you're going to place it down exactly here where this card was, just like so. And this card, you're just going to add it to this pile of cards like this, and then you're just going to close everything up, and there it is. It looks like their card is going into the center, but it's really right there on the top of the deck. Once you have the card on the top, you just shuffle to the bottom. Very simple. Just peel off the top card and shuffle every other card on top of that, and their card is on the bottom. And once the card is on the bottom, you're ready to do the color change. So that's just the first way to do it. Two other ways to do it is, this is one way you can do it. You can have someone touch a card, just say this one right here. You show it to them, ask them to remember the card, and then you take that card, place it in the middle, square everything up, and their card is on top of the deck. I'll show that one more time. Ask someone to touch a card, this one right here, show it to them, you take it and you place it right there in the center, square everything up, and it's on top, just like that. And how that is done is very simple. You just spread through the cards, ask someone to touch one. Just say they touch this one. Right after they touch this one, the very next one after it, you want to catch a break, a small break above this card right here. And then you want to take this card and you want to take it and add it to the break. So now you have a break above two cards. Once you have that break, you want to pick up the two cards and show it to them. They remember it. You take the two of them, you place them down back on the cards, and you take the top card, which is just a random card, and you place that in your next hand. And since their card is right here in this pile, you take this pile and you place that pile on top. So it looks like that is their card in the center. You push it in and it's on top, just like that. And again, once the card is on top, shuffle to the bottom, and you're ready to do the color change. That's the second way. One more way, and then I will move on to the actual color change. Very simple. Again, have someone touch a card. This one right here, get them to remember the card, and once they remember what the card is, just close everything up and instantly it's on the bottom. I'll show you that one more time. You can shuffle the cards whatever way you want. Spread through, have them touch one. Just say this one right here, get them to remember the card, and you place it back in the deck, and it's already on the bottom. Very, very simple. And what you call that is a cull control. And basically what you're doing is, as you're spreading through the cards, you get someone to touch a card. Just say this is the one they touch. You want to show it to them, get them to remember it, and as you come back down, your thumb is going to hold on to the next card above it, just like that. So you're going to come down like this, you're going to bring the two piles together, your thumb is going to hold on to the next card above their selection, and then your fingers are going to pull their selection out of the deck and just spread every other card just like that above their selection, allowing their card to just sit there on the bottom like that. One more time, spread through, have them touch a card, just say this is the one they touch, show it to them, get them to remember it, and then you come down, bring the two piles together, your thumb holds onto the next card above it, as your fingers underneath pull that card out, and just spread every card above their selection, and that just allows their card to just fall on the bottom. And that looks like this, just like that. Have a card selected, just close, and it's already in the bottom. Right? Very simple. So those are the 3 controls that you can use for this trick. Either way, find a way to control the card to the top or the bottom. If you control the card to the top, just shuffle to the bottom. If you control the card to the bottom, you don't need to do anything, you're already set for the trick. So now that you have a way to control the card, whatever way you want, your card is on the bottom, and here is the actual color change. I like to, once the card is on the bottom, I like to catch a break first of all, so I like to just pull down the bottom card and catch a break. Then I bring my hand over, I hold onto the deck and I transfer it to a pinky break to a thumb break. Just like that, okay? So I hold the break, I transfer it from one hand to the other hand. In one hand it's a pinky break, and then I transfer it into a thumb break, keeping the break. So I show this hand, and then as I come back to show this hand, so I show this hand empty, and as I come back, I just hold onto the deck like this. My fingers are here and then my thumb is here. I just hold onto the deck like that. But before I show this hand empty, what you're going to do is you're going to slide out that card just like that, just a small little bit. And that's why you have a break, just to make it easier for that card to slide. Okay, and you just want to slide it out about that much. Okay, you don't want to slide out too far, that's too much, that's enough. Okay, so once you have the card pushed out a little bit, you're going to show your hand empty on both sides. And how you're going to do that is you're going to bring your hand forward, show the front of your hand, and then show the back of your hand, or the back of your hand and then your palm. Okay, this side first and then this side, but make sure your fingers are closed. You don't want any flashes of showing how the trick works. You don't want anyone to see that card sticking out, so make sure your fingers are closed. So that looks like this. I have a pinky break, transfer it to a thumb break, show this hand empty. You don't have to show both sides, but just show something, just show it empty. And then as you come over to grip onto the deck, you want to slide out that card just a small little bit, like that much is fine. And then you bring your hand forward and then show this side, this hand empty. You want to show the back first and then your palm. Okay? And then from here you want to bring your hand back and clip onto the top corner of the card. So you're here. And then when you're here, this is the hardest part, because you want to get from this position to this position without your audience seeing that card behind your hand. So pinky break, thumb break, show your hand empty, slide the card out, show this hand empty, bring your hand back, clip the card with these two fingers, that corner here, clip it, and once you have the card clipped, do this in the mirror, watch yourself doing it. You want to get this perfect, you want to figure out your angles, watch yourself doing this in the mirror, because this is like the hardest part. So you're here, you have the card clipped, you want to get from here to here without anyone seeing that card behind your hand. Once you've done that, then the rest of the trick is fairly simple to do. Sorry, I should have actually had a card flipped over. There you go. The rest of the trick is fairly straightforward. You just bring your hand over the deck in front like that, just in front, so that so that you cover the card, just like that. And because you're holding onto the card very loosely, you have a loose grip, just loosen it, let the card fall, and reveal. And that is basically how you do that color change. I'm just going to run over everything really quickly. You riffle through the cards, spectator says stop, flip the cards over, pick up 2 cards, leaving a break between the 2 of them. That's not 2, that's 3. Just like that, you show the card. Once they remember the card, as you come down, you drop that card on the deck. Now this is just a completely random card, their card is here. Flick it out, take this card and add it to where their card used to be, and take their card and add it to this pile, and then close everything up. Their card is already on top, and it just looks like their card is right there in the middle. Push everything in, their card is on top, shuffle to the bottom. Once the card is on the bottom, catch a pinky break, then transfer it to a thumb break. Show this hand empty, then slide that card out. Hand goes forward, show the front of your hand empty, then your palm, then bring your hand back, clip onto the top corner of the card, and again, watch yourself doing this in the mirror. It's the hardest part. Just watch yourself getting from this angle to this angle without no one seeing anything. And again, damn it, I forgot to do it. Don't forget to have this card flipped over. Flip this card over first, and then steal this card out from the bottom. So, turn the top card over, show this, not their selection, show this hand empty, slide the card out, show the front and then the back, clip the card, get from this position to this position, show the selection, change the card, done. Alright, I'm not sure if I flashed. If I flashed, it's fine. This is just an explanation video, so in explanation videos it doesn't matter if I'm flashing because I'm going to show you how the trick works anyway. So now you're here, you have the card changed into their selection, they're amazed, oh my god, that's my card, how did you do that? From here, you can either take the 2 cards, flip them over, end the trick like that. Or you can do it in such a way where they can actually take the card and examine it. And how you do that, how I do it in my performance, is basically I have 2 cards. So this is how you end the trick. You change the card, boom, it changes into their card. But now you have 2 cards here. How do you get rid of the 1 card? Basically, you do a paintbrush change, but not from the front. You do the paintbrush change from the back, because this is the card that you're trying to get rid of. So what you're doing is you do it from this angle, but what you're doing is you're basically pushing this card off, just like that, as you're showing that this is just 1 card. Okay, so I'll do that again. So boom, it changes into your card. You pick the 2 cards up as 1, and you basically push off that card at the back, let it land on the deck. As you do this, again, if you know what the paintbrush change is, this is the paintbrush change. You're just doing it backwards. So instead of pushing off the front card, you're pushing off the back card like this. Okay? And how that looks in performance is like this. Boom, you've changed the card, that's their card, and now you can just hand it out for examination. And if you want a full cleanup, since this card is right here and you don't want them to see that card, just do a one-handed cut, and now you are definitely 100% clean. Everything can be handed out for examination. Alright, so that was my color change that I come up with. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a difficult thing to do, but once you practice it enough and watch yourself getting the angles right in the mirror, it does look good in the end. And I hope not only did you learn a new color change, but I hope you learned a couple of other stuff that you probably didn't know before, because that's what I like to do whenever I teach things on my channel. I like to not only teach the trick that I'm showing you, but I also like to teach you more. So I didn't just teach you the color change, I taught you how to control a card as well, different ways to control the card, just easier ways that you can do it. But the way I did it in the video is my favourite way to do it, because I don't know, I just like to challenge myself to do like really hard things that are very angly and a bit difficult to do. I like to challenge myself to actually learn how to do that kind of stuff, because I don't know, the end result it's just fun to see what the end result is after a lot of practice. But I do like to I like keeping my magic. I like to keep my magic simple as well, but just sometimes I like to challenge myself and do difficult sleights, like the colour change that you've seen. That was difficult because at first, when I first came up with it, I put a video of myself doing it on Instagram, and it was, I don't know, it was just something I came up with. I just thought of it, like it just came to my head. I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do this. So I just kind of got the deck in my hands and I just kind of did stuff, and that happened, that trick, that colour change happened, and I was like, oh, this is cool, I might make a video out of this. But then I realised I was only like, if you've seen my Instagram video, like the link to my Instagram is in the description anyway, if you want to follow me on Instagram. But if you go to my Instagram, you'll see my video. It was recorded looking down at it from my angle. And see, the problem with that was, at the time when I first came up with it, you could only do the trick looking down at it from my angle, from my point of view. That was the only way that you could do the trick. So it was basically just a trick for me, and I couldn't show it to anybody else because only I could see it. Because if I did it at a different angle, it wouldn't work because you'd see everything that's happening. So after I realized that, I was like, ah, damn, this isn't such a good trick anymore if I can only do it for myself. So I just kind of got up and I stood in front of the mirror, and I had to kind of figure out some angles and different ways I had to move my body or stand in certain ways. Like if I had to go here at one point and then go here at another point, I just had to figure out different angles to actually be able to do it for other people and not just for myself. And that's the kind of stuff I like. I like when I come up with something and just make little improvements. It's just nice to challenge yourself as well sometimes. And that was nice and fun. That was a fun thing for me to do, and I'm happy about it. I like the way it looks, and I hope you guys like the way it looks, and I hope I taught it okay. I hope you kind of have some idea of how to do it. You can always rewatch this video at certain points if you need to go over something. And also, I will always be in the comments on this video. You can ask me anything if you need help. I will help you to my best of my abilities if you need help. And also, if you liked this video, if you liked the colour change, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe and like this video if you did like it. And again, like I said, leave any comments below if you have any questions about it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.